can be fraught with danger and can induce a sense of trepidation in all but the most hardy or the most ignorant. Top Gear magazine, in association with Alliance and Leicester, have decided to make a video to help you steer a path through the hazards you may face and the dangers that can lurk in finding the right car at the right price. We aim to help you decide what to buy, where to buy, what to look out for, then we'll show you how to conduct a test drive, and finally how to haggle and clinch the deal. Oh, and don't bother making notes while you're watching this tape, because a summary of contents with useful telephone numbers and contacts is available at the end in a burst of visual information. All you have to do is get to the end titles, freeze your video and then advance it frame by frame and read off the information. Above all, we hope that when you've picked your way through the minefield and avoided all the obvious pitfalls, that you'll be able to have the car of your choice at the right price and that you'll both live happily ever after. When it comes to buying a used car, remember to be practical. Certainly think about what you want, but also think about what you realistically need. There can be quite a gap between the two. Forget about glamour and posing power. Although you may be in love with your slinky coupe, will your nuclear family really fit in the back? So let me bruise your automotive ego. You might be better with a 5-door or one of the new breed of people carriers. Think about the kind of driving you'll be doing. Your idea of bliss may be a 5-speed gearbox and a windy B-road. But if you spend the majority of your time negotiating city centre traffic jams, then an automatic and power steering will be a lot more useful. If you do a lot of motorway driving, then a 900cc engine just won't do the job. By the same token, a V8 isn't going to be very frugal on the school run. If you do have a small garage or a narrow drive, then measure it to make sure that the car will fit. If you are planning on leaving it outside, then you'll need to think in terms of a good alarm or immobiliser to keep the criminal fraternity at bay, and build the cost of the system into your budget. It's always sensible to price parts. Running costs vary hugely between makes and models. Ring a reputable garage and price a shopping basket of parts. Brake pads, exhaust, tyres, clutch, and ask about servicing costs. Take the time to give your insurance broker a call. There are 18 different insurance groups and their premiums range from reasonable to astronomical. Make sure you know which one your car falls into before you hand over your cash. It may seem strange, but when you buy a second-hand car, it pays to keep a weather eye on its future resellability. When the time comes for you to offload your car, you don't want it hanging around the classified ads for months, draining time, energy and money while you try and find a buyer. Stick to solid colours. Red, black and white sell well, but anemic pastel shades can devalue a car by up to 10%. Image is important. The Renault Clio has pizzazz and good resale values because of its youthful Nicole Papa image. But a maroon Ford Escort is deeply dull and depreciates rapidly. A sunroof, air conditioning, 5 speeds, a good stereo or leather trim could be an added attraction. Assess your needs and keep your feet firmly on the ground. Buy the right size of car with the right engine and transmission. Cost, parts and servicing and get a quote from your insurers. Look ahead. Colour, good specification and image are what future buyers will be looking for. Your car should have all three. When you're looking for a used car, there are 3 established sources. There are private sellers, dealers and auctions. All of them have their merits, and if you play the game right, you can end up with a good car at a sensible price. Avoid fly-by-night dealers who set up overnight on a piece of waste ground only to disappear a week later. If you're brave enough to get past the Doberman on the gate and stupid enough to want to invest your money in a tarted-up paint job and a clocked odometer, then you need your head testing because there aren't any bargains to be had here. If you do want to buy from a dealership, you have 2 options. The first is the large franchise dealership and the second is the smaller independent non-franchised operation. Franchise dealers are in the business of keeping customers happy and maintaining their reputations, so the standard of service is usually high. The payoff is that the customer forks out a big premium on every car for the pleasure of peace of mind. You can expect a large stock of clean used cars with full service history, genuine mileages and a 12-month parts and labour warranty. Seek out dealers who are long established, have a variety of well-presented cars on offer and employ knowledgeable staff who avoid the hard sell. Ensure that the garage makes a full disclosure of any reconditioning work done to the vehicle prior to sale. And if there are any niggling faults like wiring, bodywork or trim, insist they're rectified before you sign on the dotted line. Check the warranty very carefully. Warranties are not a panacea for all the ills your car may suffer. So make sure you know what is and isn't covered under the fixed terms. If you buy it at dealers, then you'll also have some redress under the Sale of Goods Act, should your car have a major fault at a later date. Non-franchised independent dealers often have a wider variety of cars available at a range of prices. As with a franchise dealer, the independent benefits most from being a convenient place for customers to choose cars, but the standard of after-sales care rarely reaches the levels of a franchised operation. Ask to see any documentation and be sure to write down the previous owner's name from the V5 registration document. Get hold of their telephone number through directory inquiries and ask them some pertinent questions. As before, check the dealer has a long-established reputation and make sure the cars are well prepared and ready for an immediate road test. If they bring out the jump leads, then walk away. Buying from private sellers seems like a cheaper option, but be aware that the classified ads in national newspapers and newsagents' windows are home to thousands of dodgy motors. You won't get a warranty, and if you do buy a stolen car, you'll have absolutely no redress under the law. Approach classified ads with studied scepticism. Truth is the first casualty of war, and when it comes to selling cars, it's a battleground out there in suburbia. Dealers should place a T at the end of their ad to denote trade, but the less scrupulous try and masquerade as private sellers. Phrases such as "will accept part exchange" and "lovely straight car" should set alarm bells ringing. Avoid any ads which ask you to make them an offer or advise good for a year or a reasonable runner, as the car will usually be a wreck and the owner will be trying it on. Beware of any ads that ask you to ring at a specific time or get you to ring a mobile phone number. You never know what may be happening at the other end.
Good afternoon, St. Winston's Vicarage. Ah, yes, the Fiesta. Yes, it's sitting outside resplendent in a halo of golden sunlight, blessed with the finest mechanicals that the Lord could... Would you excuse me 1 second? One of the parishioners is here with the church flowers. Thank you. I'll be right back. Hello, Sleep Easy Rest Home for retired gentlefolk. Ah, yes, Mrs. Walker's Nova. Do you know, damn fine car. If I had the money, I'd buy that myself. If only. If only. Would you excuse me 1 second? One of the residents, she's dropped her teeth in the soup. Yes, right back. Hello? Cole, look, mate, I can't hold on. I've got some soppy old tart on about that Nova. I know, mate, one born every minute. I'll tell you, that car is so old, it'll get a birthday card off the Queen. Now then, look, that Sierra, can you knock about 40,000 off the clock? I don't want to take the mick with it. Hold on, mate, hold on. I'll call you back. Call you back.
Vicarage? Hello?
Come straight to the point when you first make contact with the seller. First question, I've rung about the car.
Thank you. I'll be right
If the
back.
answer is which one, then you know you're talking to a dealer. Ask direct questions about the state of the bodywork, the mileage and recent repairs to get an accurate picture of the vehicle.
Oh, hello? Yeah. Oh, yes, no.
For most people, buying at an auction is a terrifying thought, but there are some good deals to be had if you keep your head and follow some basic rules. First, go to the larger auction houses. The standard of service and cars is very much higher. And also sit in on an auction to get some idea of how the system works and the sort of